What a genius. On October the 11th, 1939, the world changed forever and would never look back. And it wasn't because Hitler had just invaded Poland. It was because Coleman Hawkins just recorded Body and Soul, which became an instant classic and redefined the whole history of music, the history of saxophone, and the history of pop music in general. It was an absolutely seminal recording that was really the birth of modern jazz. Today, we're going to look at 3 of the sickest licks from Coleman Hawkins' recording of Body and Soul, and I'm going to show you how you can incorporate his genius into your playing when you're improvising. It's going to be awesome. But first of all, let's talk about that solo. A 35-year-old Coleman Hawkins recorded Body and Soul for RCA Victor subsidiary Bluebird on the 11th of October 1939, just a month after Hitler had invaded Poland. Little did he know at the time how both the world and music was about to change. Anticipating the soon-to-be emerging revolutionaries of bebop like Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie, Hawk takes only a cursory nod to the original melody before taking off into a 2-chorus solo and a closing cadenza that takes up the entire song. Although at first glance the solo may seem somewhat old-fashioned, as Hawkins still plays with his trademark chuffy wide vibrato, once you look under the hood, there are some startling harmonic innovations that owe more to Trane, Dolphy or Ornette than, say, Prez recordings of the same year. For this reason, Hawk's 1939 Body and Soul is generally considered the first legit modern jazz recording. Spontaneously added as little more than an afterthought to that day's recording session, Body and Soul achieved that rarest of goals, bridging art and popular appreciation, cementing him as both a household name to the public and a visionary innovator amongst musicians. Now, if you're in the Inner Circle membership, which you can join using the link that you can see there, we've got a breakdown of the solo in detail and the transcription is all in there. But today, I've just teased out 3 of the sickest licks that Hawk plays in this whole solo. We're going to have a little look at them. I'm going to show you how you can weave it into your own playing. Let's crack on with lick number 1. Okay, first of all, let's hear that lick. It's so good. Right, one more. Let's play it one more time. And I'll give you a little bit of context to what comes before it and after it. That's the start of the chorus there. So you've got this genius delay of the resolution and the tritone substitution there with the E7 chord instead of the B flat 7 chord. So this is what the lick sounds like. So he's got his trademark wide fast vibrato, which is really good to copy, but you don't have to copy the style to extract the lick, as I'm just about to show you in a minute. I'll play that one more time nice and slowly. So, like I mentioned before, if you look, you'll see that the resolution is a beat later. Now, one of the interesting things about Body and Soul, it's on the original record label, it calls it a foxtrot. The rhythm section are just swinging ching, ching, to ching, ching, to ching, like that. But most of the solo, Hawk is playing double time. Dee-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and he kind of swings the 16ths. So it's an interesting feel, which is why the lick looks a little bit scary. So what I've actually done is, I've created a new version of the lick, which is exactly the same notes, it's exactly the same phrase, but it's written out in a way which is going to be a bit more familiar to you in the modern world of jazz education. Okay? It looks like that, exactly the same lick, but it's written out, in double time, or half time, whatever. Double time or half time, I don't know. You can see it there anyway. Let's hear Hawk one more time, and then we'll look at how you can apply this lick. I mean, I'm just going to go back to the original version for a minute before we move on. So, he plays it with such a grace. Just listen to his phrasing one more time so you can really feel what it's like. It's really out there. This is one of the reasons why this is such a defining solo, because it's very advanced harmonically and was really ahead of its time. Now pay careful attention to the phrasing. The first note is tongued and it has vibrato. Then the next three are slurred. Then you've got very lightly tongued the two next notes. You slur down from the 7th of the F minor 7 to the B flat. Then you've got these ghosted notes at the bottom, and you can see that there's a lovely descending line there, which is going D to C to B flat. And you don't get to the B flat until the second beat of the resolution. It's so cool. And even then, the notes kind of pop up in a weird way. It's just part of the genius of this solo. Now, let's go back to the more familiar version that you might be used to, like this. And as you can see, you can throw this over a 2-5-1. In any standard that you play, you just transpose the lick and you'll be able to throw it right on there. And you don't have to play it with the more old-fashioned vibrato, if I can get my words out, that Hawk uses. You can just play it like this. You know, you can play it with like more of a sort of Sonny Rollins-y type modern sound. Now, just so you can hear what this sounds like, I've knocked up a little backing track of a 2-5-1, and this is what the lick sounds like over a 2-5-1. Right, let's have that one more time. I'm just going to speed it up a bit. So, as you can see, it's a really cool 2-5-1, and this is something that you can incorporate, which isn't your sort of typical Sonny Stitt style lick, but it's still a really cool lick that you can use in your solos. Transpose it, use it over any 2-5-1. Right, we're about to move on to the second lick. Just before we do, I've got a free PDF that you can download with all these 3 sick licks from Coleman Hawkins Body and Soul, and you can see the URL right there beneath me, or there's a link to click in the description. And there'll also be a pinned comment, so you can just fill in your email address and get that PDF instantly for free. It's a really cool cheat sheet. It's 3 really great licks. It's in B flat and D flat transposition. Have fun. Let's move on now to lick number 2, which looks like that and sounds like this. What a fantastic lick. Let's do that again. And again, I'll give you a little bit of context where it comes. So that's the last A. That's the last A of the first chorus. Then the horns come in with the long notes before the second half of the solo. So this is what it sounds like. I'll slow it down a bit for you. It's a kind of tritone substitution thing where there's an E major 7 instead of the B flat 7, which is a really effective device that he uses throughout this solo, which again was pretty much ahead of its time. Now, typically people do an E7 in tritone sub, but this is an E major 7, which makes it extra spicy and very, very cool. So once again, I've written this lick out for you. And by the way, the actual part it comes in the original chord sequence, you can see that it's C minor 7, B flat 7, and then E flat 6 to finish. But you could substitute that C minor for an F minor 7. The G still works, as does the arpeggio following it. So we can make that into a modern 2-5-1 lick, because let's be honest, who doesn't want a 2-5-1 lick? Right, so here it is in a more familiar presentation you'll be more used to. And let's hear what that sounds like over the 2-5-1 backing track. Right, now let's hear that a little bit faster. So super cool lick there. Just before we move on to lick number 3, just checking that you've seen my Saxophone Success Masterclass. It's my free gift to you. It's a whole hour of content which you can get instantly and free, just fill in your email. You can see the link there. Click the link in the description. Go and check out my Saxophone Success Masterclass if you like what you're seeing on these videos. And while I'm on the call to actions, drop us a little subscribe if you don't mind. If you're not subscribed, it'll show that you appreciate the videos. And also, it's really hard to get the subs up, so it's really going to help me reach more people like you who hopefully are enjoying this saxophone content. Right, we've got one more sick lick from Coleman Hawkins Body and Soul. Let's check it out. I think this is probably the sickest one of all. Check this one out. Oh, so good. One more time. Absolutely brilliant. So it sounds like this. It's actually one of the harder ones to play if you want to play it like the original, because you can see that it's got those 16th note triplets, which are all sort of ghosted. I've actually put them as normally I do ghosted notes as brackets, but these are brackets and crosses because it's super submerged. Those you can hear that you can barely discern them. And he plays with a lovely fleet sort of accuracy and technique, and his articulation is really crisp and accurate, apart from when he's not articulating at all and he's using air articulation, and that's a whole nother topic which I talk about in the Inner Circle Inspiration Solo of the Month lesson, which you can get inside the membership. Hey, by the way, there's a free 7-day trial, so if you love this solo, why not take the trial, use the link there, get the trial inside the Inner Circle, can't see my t-shirt, and check it out. And you know, you can even leave after 7 days if you want. I mean, you can do that. That's cool. But enjoy the breakdown inside the Inner Circle. So let's play this a little bit slower, and then I'll move on to a more kind of familiar, simplified version of the lick. But this is it in its original state. I'll play it really slow for you. Now, this is a really cool lick that you can use, and it's going to fit really well on the last 4 bars of many standards. So if your standard has a 2-5-1 and then like a 6 chord going back to the first chord of the whole song, which is a 2 chord, this is a really great lick. And obviously, as you can see, you don't need to be a genius to analyze it to see the descending nature of this lick. So you've got that top guide tone, which is going, you know, the top notes are going down this lovely guide tone. In the middle of it, have you got those and the descending nature of the lick is just so good. Okay, let's hear Hawk play that one more time, then I'll show you the more familiar version. Oh, that's so good. What a genius. Right, let's look at the more familiar version of the lick. And it would look like this over a 4-bar phrase, which could well be the last 4 bars of many, many standards. For example, and I've missed out some of those tricky little triplet, you know, scoopy, submerged runs. So let me bring up my backing track, and here's what it sounds like over a more familiar 2-5-1. Okay, cool. So that's, like I said, that's the last 4 bars of the song form, which would turn you back if your standard starts with a 2 chord. Very cool indeed. Let's hear that a little bit faster. And if you look in your, iReal Pro or whatever, you'll find countless standards that start with a 2 chord and they've got a 2-5-1 turnaround at the end, and that lick will just sit right on top of it. It's very, very cool stuff indeed. So that's basically all we got today. In respect of this absolutely genius solo by Coleman Hawkins from 1939, which really was the precursor of modern jazz, especially when you compare it to other things that came before in 1939. Now, I'm not a jazz historian, so I'm sure that you can think of plenty of other examples, to contradict me, but really, this is the received kind of yardstick for what was to come with the bebop generation. The vertical chords, the chord substitutions, the modern nature, the sort of irreverence for the actual melody. He just plays it for four or six bars or something, and then he's off, and he just jams for the whole tune. And it became an absolute modern classic that was in most homes in the country at the time. It was like the Harry Styles of the day. It was absolutely amazing. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you take the time to get the PDF, which you can see there. Learn these 3 licks. Check out the Inner Circle membership if you want to get the lesson, which will be coming out on the 1st of the month, in case you're watching this before the 1st of the month. And once again, thank you very much for watching the video. Please do subscribe if you're enjoying the content. I'd really appreciate that. And until next time, make sure that you practice hard, practice smart, enjoy your music. Take it easy, guys. I can't hear the backing track. It changed how people play saxophone. It changed how people